And now we have two really cool guests who are both musical artists, either on Twitch or off Twitch or a little bit of both. And so, yeah, we're ready to switch over and bring on DTune and Xdetune.
All right.
Hopefully the screens are good.
Yay!
We'll find
Hello, everybody.
There we
You
go.
guys can unmute now.
Hello.
Friends.
Hooray!
We did it.
We did it. Welcome. If you guys want to tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do on Twitch, that would be great. Let's start with directly above me with Seth.
Oh, hi. Hello. Well,
Hello.
my name is Seth, and my Twitch name is Xdetune, so I play drums. Yeah, that's right.
You make it easy for everyone.
I try to make it as easy as possible. But yeah, I just play drums to song requests. So, and sometimes the games.
And one of the greatest self-promoters I've ever seen out there.
Okay, well, let's not go on that. Let's not talk about that.
Love it.
And next we have DTune.
Hi, hello. I'm DTune. I do a lot of indie horror games and story games and we just get up to a lot of stuff over in my stream. We do a lot of music stuff as well. I'll do a lot of just like improv music stuff. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yay! Well, we're happy to have y'all here. I mean, I guess we can just hop right in, right, Sam?
Yeah,
You can just
go ahead.
dive in. All right, so this is for either of you. We can go like in a little circle if y'all want to keep doing that, but if you feel
Circle
more
of life.
compelled,
Circle time.
if you feel more compelled to jump in first, go for it. But when did you first notice your love for music? Like either of you?
I guess I'll start. I started playing like drums at a very young age. And my family, they're all musically talented. So my dad had a VHS of Stevie Ray Vaughan that he watched all the time, Double Trouble. So that was played all the time. That was back with, we didn't have cable back then, right? So yeah, so we watched that all the stinking time. And I played with pots and pans when I was in diapers. So that's kind of how I first started picking up the drumsticks.
That's freaking cool.
It's pretty crazy.
What about you, DTune?
I don't come from a musically inclined family. I don't think anybody in my family I know like does music or actively did music. I kind of fell in love with music. My dad was a military guy, so we moved around a lot. And a lot of my fondest memories growing up was sitting in the back seat of the car during these long moves and just like watching like the highway lights pass by. And listening to a lot of like Motown and a lot of like Michael Jackson and a lot of like early R&B, early Motown. And it just like, I don't know. I remember getting out of the car trips and just these songs were stuck in my head and I just like obsessed over it and just wanted to listen. And it just kind of, maybe it was just the formative years of when and the situation music hit me, but it just always stuck with me.
Oh, I relate a lot to that with the military and road trips and Michael Jackson in particular.
It's
was
nonstop
obsessed.
road trips when you're a military brat.
Yep. So I think that's probably roughly like the same with me when I noticed my love for music as well. What about you, Sam? Do you remember?
Music's been a big thing in our family. It's required. I guess I was the last one once my great grandmother passed away, but it is required to learn the basics of the piano with everyone in my side of the family. And so Saturday morning, 8 a.m., you're 7, 8 years old, and my great grandmother came over and I had a little chord organ. So it was like a little square box. That technically your left hand was you would just push down buttons for chords, and then the right hand was a small, I think just like 2 key set wide. And that's how I learned. Then went on to piano, then went on to clarinet and bass, guitar, and drums, and a little, I am not a master of any, but I can dabble here and there with everything.
Awesome.
So I guess the clarinet, I probably could still pick up a clarinet today and remember everything.
We get a clarinet duo sometimes. I learned clarinet and saxophone too.
Yes, I wanted a saxophone. Wanted a saxophone so bad, but they were too expensive and they were too expensive to repair.
Yes.
True.
Oh my
So
God.
my parents are like, you can do a clarinet or nothing. And so,
This or nothing.
so it was a clarinet, I guess.
Well,
That's
since we're talking about
amazing.
instruments, then I'm assuming everybody plays an instrument, and if so, what and how many?
Instrument?
Yeah.
No
What? How many?
instruments for
What is
No,
that?
no.
Well,
Pots and pans.
I can play the kazoo really well.
Can you actually?
You can just ask my chat. I am the best kazoo player there is, right,
Oh my
chat?
goodness.
Okay.
Say yes.
No, my main instrument is drums. I did learn guitar growing up because my dad plays guitar and he's just amazing. So it was really easy to learn, and learn my chords and stuff with him because we just go in the basement and jam out for a while.
Aw.
And I did pick up a little bit of piano, but I never could figure out, like, my brain, I couldn't split it because it's very hard to play piano. I mean, there is just so much going on there. And you would think being a drummer, you got to do 4 different things at the same time. I'd be able to figure it out, but I was never able to figure it out. So really that's about it. Just here and there, kind of like Sam, just doing a little bit here and there. And I can play a little bit of this and that, but primarily
I think the
it's
difference
drums.
with piano and drums though is drums it's like the full body movement, right? And
Yeah.
piano, that's a lot of things that you have to
It
do. I'm the
is.
same with you. My left hand is a chord holder.
Yeah.
My right hand can move
Yeah.
on the keys.
My mom was like, "You have piano fingers. You should be able to, because I have long fingers, be able to stretch out." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I just was too much ADHD or something." I just never could.
Do you know your read?
I don't know actually, no, but it's pretty long. I
Dang.
mean, it'd probably be okay.
I think I was a C to a D or a C to a D.
I
Or
can
C.
do a full octave uncomfortably.
yeah.
I can too.
So
That's
I can
about
do-
it.
Now I'm curious. I don't know. I need to figure that out.
Yeah,
So I
just
can
go-
do
just go
one
do this on a
pass full
piano.
octave.
Yeah.
I can do C
Anybody
to
have a
D.
piano nearby?
wow.
Anybody? A piano?
Yeah. The
What about my
song Flight of
keyboard?
the
Can I do my
Bumblebees,
keyboard?
where you got to do this a lot.
I can do a caps from an enter with my pinky and my. We'll do keyboard caps to enter.
I
There you
just
go.
liked that I
Put it
had
on
a
your
good
computer.
reach because I could play the Peanuts theme song, the
Oh.
and I could play the left hand of that. That was the only song I could do both hands and keep rocking that and stuff. So I was glad
I
I
learned
had a big reach
chopsticks.
for
That
that.
was my first song.
Same.
Chopsticks.
I don't know how to play that. I was not allowed to play anything that was like, on the black keys you go.
Oh
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do Peter Pumpkin Eater on the black keys. I couldn't do chopsticks. My great grandmother would come in and slap my hands, and so I would stop playing the piano. And then she would like pull out a book. She was a serious and amazing piano player, and
Wow.
my dad was as well. I couldn't do hot cross buns. Any of those, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I just picked those up by listening, but I couldn't play them in her house because she'd be like, "That's not real music," and she'd pick it up.
Oh,
My dad
no.
would, like some kind
Grandma.
of book for me to go through.
Oh my gosh. What about you, DTune? Instruments?
I play a lot of instruments. I started with woodwinds. The first instrument I think I ever picked up to play was a clarinet because it was a hand-me-down from a friend because, growing up broke, I couldn't afford instruments. So it was like clarinet, and then I jumped to saxophone, and then I ended up in brass for a little bit. So a little bit of trumpet. I played the bassoon and oboe. And then after my head injury, I picked up guitar. I didn't pick up guitar until like 16, 17. And then that became my main instrument. And then along with guitar, I could play a little bit of piano, bass guitar, a little bit of drums. I play a lot of instruments. I think last time I counted, I could proficiently do 14. And
My
then I fall apart after I get outside of those pretty
Wow.
quickly.
That's impressive.
That's still
What's
a
your
good
favorite one to play?
repertoire, though.
I think guitar still is my favorite to play just because with like electric guitar and like effects pedals and things like that, you just have a palette of sounds and you can get away with so much more, I want to say like non-traditional styles of music and styles of playing with that accessibility of like extra effects and pedals and stuff like that. My favorite instrument that I don't know how to play, but I absolutely love is the cello. I love the cello
Aw.
so much.
Ben used to play violin in high school, and he apparently I've watched home movies of him playing, but he's never played for me before. he tried one time, but then the strings were all whatever jacked up and everything when he pulled out when he first started dating, and they just haven't gone through and fixed them. But apparently he was very good, and his mom was super sad when he stopped playing. But yeah, any of those kind of like violin, viola, cello, bass, all that kind of stuff, like just talent behind that. I would love to learn.
I'd love to learn violin. Leif is actually learning electric guitar right now.
Oh, nice.
And he's loving it. I only know how to tickle the ivories. So that's
what we should have called our episode.
Tickle the ivories.
Dang it.
Changing it.
We can tickling the ivories. But yeah, my most used instrument, if it counts, I sing. That's about it.
That's
I don't
awesome.
really use anything else though.
Vocals is important.
But like, this is cool. I need to relearn a lot of things because I haven't played in so long. I don't have anything to practice on.
True.
Well.
So
what pushed y'all to be musicians or musical artists and like to pursue this in any form?
Oh wait, what was the question again?
I asked, why am I great?
Well,
I'll
get my essay going. I'll be right back. Cite my sources.
In the oven? Oh no. All right, what pushed y'all to be musicians or musical artists?
It goes right back to my parents. Since my parents both play, my mom plays the piano, my dad plays the guitar, and they grew up playing in nightclubs and stuff. And
cool.
My dad just really just inspired me to play. It's kind of crazy because I kind of was just born with the talent, and I'm very, very grateful that I had the talent just kind of just in me, when I was a baby and I was just destroying my parents' furniture with spoons. I kid you not, my parents went to Wesco and bought a whole new set of like a bedding and like dressers and stuff. And it was gorgeous, and I destroyed it all. Yep, destroyed it all with spoons. And my parents didn't even get, like, they weren't even mad because they're like, yeah, he's gonna be a drummer, he's gonna do something crazy, he's gonna be amazing someday and do some wild things. And so they weren't even mad. But yeah, my parents 100%, like, they inspired me to pursue music. And so yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What about you, DTune?
Mine is the exact opposite experience. I fell into music because of, unfortunately, head trauma.
Wow.
I guess is the best way to put it. I dabbled in music, in like school band and stuff like that. And my cousin, my younger cousin, is like he's like a world famous opera singer, and he's like the symphony director at Yale right now. So he's the only other person in my family that has music background. And so I was always like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I like music. Let me try to play in school band. And that's why I did, like, band instruments. But around 16 or 17, I hit my head really hard in a sports accident. It put me in the hospital for about 2 weeks. I had like brain hemorrhaging.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I have a cyst in the back of my skull still. It's like the size of a golf ball, and they just have to monitor it every year to make sure it's not growing. But because of that, like, I spiraled because I couldn't do sports ever again. They were like, you can't even run track, type of thing. And then my mom bought me an acoustic guitar and was like, listen, like, you can just, chill and play this, and you like music, maybe this could be an outlet. And me being the personality I am, I obsessed over it. I took that like little cheap guitar that she got me at 16, and then I ran with it and have had a career in music since 17. And like, that's just been my life. And luckily my mom knew exactly what I needed at the time, and I fell in love with it. I've ran a recording studio for about 8 years now. I write music for people and like games and TVs and stuff like that. Have my own music. Our band just signed a label deal like in December.
Oh wow. That's
There's
awesome.
a lot of stuff going on, and it's like
crazy.
You just won something on Twitch too, right?
Oh yeah, the Twitch Vision thing on a solo song that, like, I don't do solo music often.
This song is amazing, y'all. Don't let him downplay it.
Thank you. I'm not very confident in my singing voice. I usually only write vocal lines for other people and do harmonies and stuff for projects I'm in. But it was one that, like, essentially Twitch chat pushed me to do, was like, try it out, and I did, and then it won the like a Twitch Vision music contest. So that was that was really cool.
Thank you, Twitch chat.
Thank you,
Sometimes
chat.
Twitch chat can be good, right? And not
Yeah, every now and then they'll do something positive for me.
Yeah. No negatives here.
But I guess it does literally come back to that initial head injury. It kind of changed the course of my life, because before that head injury, I was lined up to become a doctor. Like, I had all of my scholarships lined up. I had, everything pre-med was like lined up. Everything was good to go. And then slowly they decided to pull my scholarships once I got into college. They found some way to like weasel out of it. It was like some stipulation that even my academic scholarship was based around something with sports, or I don't know. They
What?
basically were just like, yo, we don't want you to do this. And then I couldn't afford med school and stuff on my own. So I was like, well, time to pivot. And then I was just writing music out as long as I can. And, 13 years later, it's still like my full-time job.
Proud of you.
Thank
It's
you.
crazy though
Yeah,
how
you're
like
great.
stuff lines up, because it's not like medicine and music are not really in the same
Yeah.
area, right?
Yeah.
Music
It,
can be medicine, though.
It can be.
True.
Yes. Ooh, deep.
Deep.
Thank you. It's not
I wouldn't take it back. Like, what happened to me, yeah, it sucked. It was difficult, but like the course of my life and where I am now, I would not change anything. So I guess that's really cool to have.
Yeah. It's wild, like how journeys get you to a place you probably didn't expect to get to ever.
Yeah.
And now you're
Yeah.
here.
That's
Now I'm
crazy,
here.
man. That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Well,
Thank
you
you.
mentioned you were in a band, and this question is still for both of you. But in a band setting, what would you play, or do you sing, or both? And I think we kind of know the answer, but if y'all want to elaborate for people.
So as far as like bands go, I've played in my church for over 20 years. When I was 8,
Wow.
I would stand in and play a couple of songs, but since I was so small and like my muscles wouldn't be able to like play more than 2 songs, I had to like can only play 2 songs. I would be tired and I'd like be done, and then the other drummer would come in and play. But like at 9, the drummer for the church left completely, and my dad, my mom was like, "It's time," and I was like, "What?" I can't
Golden
even reach the
drumsticks are handed to you.
I can't even reach the pedals yet. Like I literally had to put one of my butt cheeks like on the side of the drum throne and close the hi-hat because I couldn't reach both pedals. And so I just started playing there, and I've been playing there ever since. So that was like kind of like my experience of being in a band, I guess, not full-time or anything. And then doing some side gigs here and there, as I got older and more mature. Yeah, okay, mature.
Cool.
Anyway.
Mature.
Did you and Aaron and Brandon and PM make a name for your band of Lupo Scream?
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
That was really good. Change the title.
So good.
Very last, but wasn't it like the night before we were talking about going out with that song, because it was still called Lupo Tie, and we're like, we can't do that, guys. That's not gonna work.
Yeah. That was really crazy because PM and a bunch of the guys were just like, they just made a group. They're like, hey, we should do this. And I'm like, okay. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, okay. I told my wife, hey, I'm going to go track this song that's absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to try to record it. And she's like, okay. So like at 11 o'clock, I'm recording this ridiculous meme song. And we were literally like mastered it and everything like within 48 hours. Like it was crazy. Red played guitar. I mean, it was nuts. Brandon did rapping, everything like overnight. It was nuts. But it took so long because you got all that stuff you got to go through to get it on Spotify and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I did play on that, which is I'm really, really I'm proud of, even though it's a meme song, but it was still
Cool. Hey, Branded, I Am Branded, he did the use code Dr. Lupo song. That was the meme song. And now he did the Lupo Scream song, and he's working with Twaz and doing tons of music for all of his projects. Yeah. And it's just like, it doesn't matter who it's for or what it's for. Music's music, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. And we really liked that Ben's brother, Redwolf Audio, got to be part of that too and everything.
He's amazing.
That's who wrote our song.
Yeah.
Nice.
Aaron wrote all of our music for us. So
it's really nice.
I like not being serious all the time. Like the majority of the drummers I know, they all play like Rush and like crazy like time signatures and stuff, which is good. But like I'll go out and then someone makes a song of Tim the Tatman singing 18, 20, 30, 60. I'm like, all right. And then I just play drums over it and post it to Twitter and then it gets like 100,000 views. I'm like, nobody else is doing this, you know? And it's just like, it's silly, but people like silly. People don't like to be serious all the time, man. Life is way too short to be serious all the time, you know?
That's true. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then do you tune your guitar in your band?
Yes.
Or?
In a band setting, I play guitar and then do like some vocals, usually just like harmonies and stuff like that. Or if the vocalist needs like a break in a line, then I just do, you know, one line while they breathe type of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd be in a band. I'd want to be the drummer. Move over, Seth.
You play triangle.
The drummer too.
I can't. Yeah, I'll play the triangle.
Cowbell? Cowbell's the most important instrument there is.
You would be the lead guitarist, like on like a giant ego riser with like fog machines and like you're just that's totally
sliding
you.
on your knees.
I don't know.
Exactly.
In high school, so my boyfriend in high school started playing drums, and he was like xdetune. He just got so into it that he just perfected it, and it became his thing. That we would watch concert videos, you know, again before we had streaming services, so there were all these VHS and DVDs of concert videos for like Dream Theater and Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
And so we would sit there and he would watch it, and then he would go to his studio and he would play it, and it was just, I don't know, seeing those concerts and seeing the drummers with the full kits around them and everything, like
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so yeah. I would definitely 100% be the drummer.
I have a theory that every guitarist wants to be a drummer and every drummer wants to be a guitarist, especially when like say okay, Seth, hear me out. When a song is playing and like, you know, a cool part comes on, do you air guitar or are you always drumming? Because every guitarist is always just drumming along, having no idea what they're doing. And they're just kind of flailing their arms.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of weird if I was a drummer and I was air drumming, but
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't do the thing that you're. So every drummer I've ever known always like air guitars parts and like puts on their stank face.
Yeah,
and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've always wanted to be like the front man of a band or something like that, you know? Like there's frontmen drummers, but it's like, nah, it's not as cool.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though. I mean, well, it's pretty cool though to see a drummer sing. I mean, that's crazy. Like, I don't know how they do it, but
I was always okay. This is going to be a really weird drummer singing example, but I always thought it was really cool that Zach Hansen sang a lot from Hansen.
Yeah.
No, it's good
because it's such a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
To even talk and drum at the same time.
I can't remember if you sing the harmonies.
Like he had a couple solo songs on there.
Crazy.
I was a huge Hansen fan. Still am, but okay.
They're really good too.
It just blew my mind that drummers could sing at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if my brain is capable of grasping that many important things.
It's wild.
For me, it's like the breath control. How are they exerting all that force and not going
and like being steady? Same with like musician or singers that like dance around, like Britney Spears. How is she running around and not going?
Beyonce, evidently Beyonce trained by singing on a treadmill.
Yes,
like so
Beyonce does that. Yep.
Yeah, that's how she doesn't stagger at all.
She does her full performances, literally not even like on a slow jog, like full blown.
She's running,
just sprinting on a treadmill and just doing it flawlessly. So that's why she's the queen. You know?
So
that's why she's
no matter how much I try, I will never get to that level.
Yeah.
Okay, so talking about bands,
drums.
What music did you listen to growing up? I know we talked a little bit about like Motown and stuff like that, but what was like the music that filled your house growing up?
We listened to a lot of the Beatles growing up because my mom loved the Beatles. But my dad was more of the rockin' side of things. So he was more of like Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, the Cream, like that style. So we had like a majority of genres in our house. And then you just had like me, I just played whatever was in the cassette tape. It's like, so I just played along to like the Bee Gees or something easy. And then we had like, DC Talk, which is like the Christian rock in the 90s. And then you had like Petra and like all different styles. So like, it wasn't like a specific artist all the time, but it was a variety, I should say, a variety. It was very fun. Very fun.
Nice.
Aww.
Do you do anything outside of the Motown era for you?
Yeah, like I guess to be candid, my parents did split when I was younger, so it's like I had the music my mom listened to and then the music my dad listened to. But Motown and specific artists were like crossovers that like always stuck with me. So like the Stevie Wonders, the Isley Brothers, Sade, a lot of like Motown artists like that were like a big crossover. But then like my dad also really loved Red Hot Chili Peppers, and like seeing some of the stuff that the like Red Hot Chili Peppers did to bring in some of that like influence of like Motown and like random influence that like got my brain thinking of like, oh, music doesn't have to sit in one box. And I remember that moment of like you can bend genres, you can kind of like, just because you're an R&B singer doesn't mean you only have to do that. And I think that right there was like an eye opener early on. And then, you have Michael Jackson doing whatever the heck he wants. And like just artists like that always like piqued my interest. And then my mom also randomly liked she would go from like Motown and really, throwback R&B stuff to like like Evanescence and stuff like that. I got my music range from my mom, where she would go like both sides of the music spectrum, and I'm like, yes, I love that. And I think that influenced me early on to like the music that was like important in my formative years.
We were a lot of my mom attempted country, and so my dad kind of nixed that right away. But a little bit of old school country, John Michael Montgomery and Garth Brooks and Brooks and Dunn and all that kind of stuff from the Midwest. So of course that's gonna be in there somewhere. But otherwise, Kiss 100% was the soundtrack of my childhood. So Kiss and Van Halen and The Who, the Monkees.
So like arena rock, like larger than life arena rock.
And that's what my dad was in a band in high school. He's been in bands on and off his whole life. He loves like that hard classic rock. I love the arena rock. That's a good way of just like anything that fills up the whole entire space.
When you think of it, you're like, there's no way this doesn't exist beyond this like 50,000 person crowd. It's like it commands that energy.
Exactly, 100%. And a lot of Beatles were in there too, and that's Charlie's favorite band now. Is the Beatles are on almost constantly in our home, and I feel like the Beatles are a lot like that too with Red Hot Chili Peppers, where they cross over genres and stuff. Magical Mystery Tour, whatever they were doing during that time, that is definitely not what was considered pop.
Yes, true.
They did some stuff, they experimented. It definitely was a lot of classic rock. And so sit me in front of just a classic rock playlist of like 70s, probably very late 60s, super late 60s into like mid 70s. That chunk of rock music is just still the stuff that makes me smile and know all the words to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we grew up not listening to the radio. We weren't allowed, but we listened to a lot of techno. So like
wait, hold on. You can't blaze by that.
Techno. Lots of techno. So my brother was a DJ.
Okay.
Like, do y'all remember Fruity Loops, that old application?
Yep.
He would make music. Do any of y'all know about Homestar Runner? Have you heard of Homestar
course,
Runner?
yes.
Do you remember the Strong Bad emails and the techno one?
Yes.
That's my brother.
What?
He sent that email. Yeah, he was
no
like, hey,
way.
Strong Bad, you like tech? Yeah, his name was Silent J. His name's Justin.
Way.
It wasn't Silent at all.
Holy smokes.
But
that's like,
so
that's a core memory. Just
I've unlocked one. But our family grew up with a lot of techno, and we also listened to, so it was mainly like Eiffel 65, and then of course there's Daft Punk, which is more like funk techno and house and things like that, as well as like Fatboy Slim, and then we got into like Cake. So all those things.
That's incredible.
But we also, my mom was determined to make sure we grew up on like oldies. So like Glenn Miller, In the Mood, or like Wayne Newton, or things like that. So we were all over the place, just not radio. So I didn't know
just weren't in the now.
About, yeah, like top 40. Wow, every song's so new to me.
Yeah.
What is this?
I love that, like, you know, you didn't listen to radio, but you knew you knew the Eiffel 65 song, I'm Blue and I'm like, that's the only song you need to know from that era. That's it.
Charlie likes that song a lot too because he knows the words.
I remember going to the roller skating rink and hearing that song, I'm Blue. And I'm like, hit the disco ball down. I'm just like, yeah, okay.
It's so good.
Yeah, so we listened to a lot of Burn CDs. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
That's about
Napster and LimeWire.
Oh my gosh. Legal platforms you could pay legally.
Totally.
You allegedly use them, Sam.
Oh yeah. No, I totally did. Come for me, okay?
You know, statute of limitations. True. It's fine. You're fine.
Can I ask a question to the group?
Yeah. No. Yes.
No. Oh gosh.
Sure. What is the first piece of music that you bought yourself? Not like, you know, not gifted for birthdays or anything like that. What is the first thing that you bought yourself?
Michael Jackson's Greatest Hit.
Nice.
I was obsessed with him. His 40th anniversary. I was 9 years old. I remember watching and I was crying because I was like, I love him so much.
Was that the dual disc one? I'm trying to remember. With the statue on the front? Yeah. I had that too. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I remember that so well because he's my favorite artist growing up.
I'm trying to think. I'm looking up the dates to see which one it actually is.
Was it Kids Bop?
Marshall Mathers LP.
Kids Bop now.
No, Marshall Mathers LP was the first one that I bought.
Oh, nice. Oh wow!
And not the. It was the explicit version. Not. Because remember, you used to be able to buy. They would have the safe one or the whatever family friendly, and then the explicit version.
Oh yeah, it had different covers and everything.
Yes.
I told my dad the one with the sticker on it was the safe one. It wasn't. It was the other way around. I was like, listen, they have it here because it's like the safe one. So my dad,
that's hilarious.
This big one that says parental advisory on it.
I'm like, it's advised. So they edited it. This is me like 8 or 9 years old just scheming, and my dad's like, oh, that makes sense.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been advised by parents to be good. That's so wholesome.
I forgot. I forgot that I did that. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Whoops.
Mine, I was Human Clay by Creed.
Ooh, there you go.
Creed forever.
Yeah, that was my jam, and that entire album was so good. Yeah. Like he has a song that just says hi yeah, like the entire song is that. I'm like,
Enya does too.
Yes,
I'm sure.
Pretty sick though. I mean,
Sam, did you say yours?
No, I did not. The first thing I
didn't. I did.
The first thing I bought for myself was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. That was the first piece of music that I bought for myself.
Heck yeah.
Ben got to play with Mike Shinoda in December for Build Against Cancer. He played Among Us with us, and it was like he's so super nice, and Ben's just like
he's just, you're like, this is fine.
The whole entire time. Oh man. Okay, so I have another question that's not on the list. What is, and it may have changed from when you're younger, but just when music was, I don't know, I feel like when we were teenagers, music is just so much more of life than when you're an adult, right? Like you just lay there for hours and listening to music and stuff like that. I don't have time to do that now. What was your guilty pleasure album or artist or song that like you could just jam to for however long? Maybe nobody knew who they were.
Okay.
It wasn't going to be on your top 5 list, but it really should have been.
I got one. I wouldn't. You're in high school and everyone's very judgmental what you listen to. There's no way I would get caught listening to this, but NSYNC's No Strings Attached was my front to back banger. Nothing but bangers. I would have to be alone in my room. No one else could know.
I swear, dude. I literally pulled up what's the first the NSYNC albums because I didn't know the name of it, and I looked it up, and that was the one.
No Strings Attached. It was so good.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
more. I didn't like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys until I got older. I was a Hanson fan, but
Oh, okay.
mine would be Lorena McKennitt,
Ooh.
The Mummer's Dance.
Okay.
It's the song. It's such a good song, and it's so pretty.
Got
Sam, do
it.
you have a guilty pleasure?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh.
He's not bad or anything, but I would have not told people I listened to
Do
him.
it.
It's Lou Bega.
Really?
I still to this day, like, I'll just blast Lou Bega in the car.
Blasting some
That's great.
Lou? Okay, that's pretty great.
I
That's
love
awesome.
Lou Bega. I mean, of course, like, he got famous for Mambo Number 5, but
Yeah.
I love all of his music so much, and I've been showing my son it, and he's like, "Mom, you were so strange." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am."
Wait, now I have to go through. I've only listened to Mambo Number 5. I didn't realize.
oh
my God, the
goodness.
discography is deep.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got so much good music.
Is it Oops All Bangers? Is there a certain album I should check out? Go
Let
down
me
the
find you
Spotify.
a specific album.
Okay, so that you're just led into my next question. Why Sam searches?
Yes.
What is your perfect front to back album that you don't skip
Ooh.
songs?
That's hard. Let me look at my recently played on Spotify.
For
It'll
me,
be in
it's
there.
gonna be a hybrid theory. I'm not just piggybacking off of D-Tune, but still to this day, like every song means so much to me. And I can play the entire album and Meteora. I can play both those albums front to back. If that was the only albums I could listen to for the rest of my life, it'd be those two albums or just one of them. They're just, yeah. They got me through a lot of hard times when I was a kid. Like Linkin Park is like the band, like the artist that changed my life for the better. And yeah, for sure.
Mine would be 21 Pilots Vessel album.
Ooh, good one.
That's a good album.
And just I don't know what happened for their next couple albums after that, but the one that they just came out with just a month or maybe 2 months ago, that one's back to, the traditional not radio play 21 Pilots we all know and love.
Yep.
Little fun tidbit, my old scene band that I was in, like the first sign band I was in, oh yeah, we were a little scene
We're showing
band.
our age, okay?
Yeah,
First
we were called
cassette players and Napster, and now scene
bands. We were called Before Their Eyes. We were on Rise Records with all the other scene bands, and 21 Pilots. Yes, exactly. 21 Pilots was the band that would open for us, and we would always want them anytime we could because we're like, this band's gonna blow up. We would give it like a year, and they're gonna be the biggest band in the world. And then a year later, they signed their deal and just blew up. So it's wild, and I'm always so excited to see how far they go. Just from seeing them perform to like 6 people opening, opening on a big band bill. And then them just selling out everywhere. It's
I want to see
so
them in
incredible.
concert so bad.
Me too.
On my top list. It gets sold out so quickly.
Yes.
Fatboy Slim Greatest Hits.
There it
or
is.
Daft Punk, Interstellar 9999.
Ooh,
that's a good one too.
Those two I can listen to fully.
I have a few, but I would say the one that got me through the most like emo time, the teenage years of life. Was
Wait, you got over that?
I adapted to it. There we go. I've been molded.
Grown with it, molded with
it. It would be Deja Entendu by Brand New. That album got me through a lot. It is very emo, but like it shaped a lot of who I am, I would say.
Oh, I'm a dashboard confessional emo girl.
Ooh, yeah.
Bright Eyes. I have to listen to Bright Eyes. I'm from Omaha, right? Like,
yeah.
We have Saddle Creek Records here and stuff like that. And so
it was never a phase.
Dang. What? So are those your y'all's go-to feel-y ones, or is that just from growing up?
If I'm feeling emo-y, it's gonna go Silverstein. Discovering the Waterfront. Remember that album?
Yeah.
I mean, it was whiny, but it's like, tie me up with sheets, like that.
The emo voice.
Dude,
yeah.
It was very like, I'm almost drowning and I'm taking a breath between every single.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. Even now, like if I'm sad, it's Dashboard.
Mine's like Death Cab for Cutie.
That's a
or
good one
like
Yeah.
too.
Snow Patrol or Sufjan
Yeah.
Stevens, like those.
Oh yeah. I
Cross
would
company
Good
say
old
too.
group.
brand new would still be my if
Oh,
I'm at my lowest. That's either the Deja or Devil and God. Either of those albums. It's just what sadness sounds like, and I need it for my soul. I
Sometimes you
need
just
it.
need a sad
and
moment.
a big bowl of
son,
ice
okay?
cream.
Yeah.
Music is medicine.
It is.
It
You-
is.
Yes.
It's big truth.
So you are in
As
the
long as you
medical
don't stay there.
field still.
You're a whole music doctor.
Cisco hold music.
Oh man. Okay, so we've talked about our love for music. You guys obviously play music on stream. How has DMCA helped you or not helped you?
Yeah, how's that been? in your
Helps.
brain?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure not helped you at all.
Honestly,
Yeah, maybe.
it's not really changed much for me because I only play animal covers and like really terrible. I'm just kidding.
I love listening to some of the animals.
I play some of the most distasteful things you've ever heard in your entire life, and I'm just like, all right. Literally someone, yeah, it's terrible. It's such a touchy subject for literally every music streamer because
Yeah.
it's been a topic for several years. I mean, I've been streaming since 2017. It's literally been a hot topic ever since, and some people
DMCA.
don't. Yeah. Like some people just don't care about it, and they're like, if it happens, it happens. Some others are like super like scared and like, I'm gonna delete
Yeah.
everything, and it's really hard to know what to do, and it has weighed on me as a content creator. I don't know about, I'm sure everybody else has, it's really affected them, but it's like you don't want to be miserable being a streamer either. You want to be able to perform and do content you enjoy, but it's like on the other hand, it's like this is your full-time income, so it's like you don't want to sacrifice that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really have an answer because it's like I'm being careful, but also it's like if I really want to play a Backstreet Boys song, I'm probably gonna play it, right? And it's like pray that it gets muted in the VOD. If it doesn't get muted, then I have to delete the VOD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Do you work around it somehow by like changing up the tunes a little bit?
I play a lot of remixes, a lot of mashups,
Gotcha.
and a lot of the stuff I do play. The drums are a lot louder than the music, so not that it's gonna save me from anything, but I think it does help a little bit. But once
Yeah.
again, I still don't own the rights. At the end of the day, you gotta own the rights to the music, But I do play a lot of 8-bit covers, a lot of video game music. So there's a lot of the 8-bit stuff's really cool. It really is. It's almost like the original, almost. But it makes me not as sad. But I do play
That's
a lot
fair.
of mashups and things like that. A lot of just covers from other artists that perform the original. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of options out there, but still.
That's good.
Yeah.
The UD tune.
It's a really hard subject because it's like nobody's happy with the DMCA laws, like being on both sides of it, being a streamer, being, in the industry from a producer to a performer side. Nobody at all is happy with how it's working, and it's just like the big cats who, like the 3 people who run this industry, are just refusing to change and grow. It is what it is, and we have to adapt to it. So it's like limiting the music that we play in the background, limiting, just little goofy covers I'll do every now and then, like certain songs I can't do. I am in a position where it's like there are some like copyrighted music that I will play, but it's because I can get my way out of a strike if it comes at me, because of the benefit of like working in this industry is like I can just contact them and be like, yo, stop, come on.
Yeah.
There
Like
you
I
go.
know you. Like
awesome.
please.
Yeah.
So it's like there's wiggle room here and there, but like it is such a bummer and a hindrance on what you can do and what you can create. But on top of that, there is a nice little caveat of like it does give you a position to adapt with more original type of material or original approaches, like taking well-known songs and playing the 8-bit versions of it. That's like a really cool, unique adaptation to it that like people will come in and be like, oh wait, that's kind of cool, or that's kind of funny that you're playing along to that. It feels just like the song, but you can spin it in a way that kind of works for you. It's just, please, music world, just get with the times.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Listen to us, senpai.
I feel like what would be like the ultimate everyone's happy solution that you could think of? Do they just let us do it, or do we pay a fee to be able to pull from a library, like a yearly fee that you can pull?
The fees would get so messy so quickly. And I feel like the goalposts would continue to move because the industry would just try to figure out what they can get away with. Like the music industry would be like, oh, we can charge that much. Well, let's up it to this. I think what YouTube did, it works pretty well with just, demonetizing the VODs, demonetizing like in a way that like they have to pay a share out automatically. I think that's a pretty clever way of doing it. And if I played copyrighted music and they're like, oh, this percentage of your ad revenue or bit revenue or whatever has to go towards, the publishers, and it takes that small percentage out or whatever, I'd be okay with that.
Right.
If I felt the need that I needed to do it, especially being a music streamer. And if you do covers and things like that, like that's just a safety net for everybody.
Yeah.
It's such a tricky area.
I think the difference though is like we're doing the live streams. So it's like it's a different area because like we're not, of course we're posting stuff to YouTube of, highlights and whatever, and those get demonetized. But like Twitch, you're live streaming and then you have a VOD, and like they have no way of demonetizing it, or you don't make anything from your VODs. So that's where it's like a gray area because it's just different than YouTube. And now I'm not sure how YouTube Live handles that. Like, is it the same type of concept? They demonetize it.
YouTube Live will take you down, like take your stream down live. Yeah, they would just be like, your stream's offline if they catch a copyright law. Because what YouTube, so royalty rates pay out differently, and it's two different sets of royalties for live performance versus recorded performance. That's the whole thing with like Twitch's, what do they call it? Their Spotify thing that they did.
Oh, their I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Twitch music thing.
Yeah.
With that. Specifically, they paid for live royalties, but not recorded royalties. That's why if you set it up wrong and the music's in your VOD, you can still get in trouble. They only paid half of it, which is, come on, Twitch. Like, why are you doing that?
That's why people were getting banned.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, yeah, it's a whole thing. So basically, it's two different styles of royalty. So even YouTube, with their live, YouTube Live, if they catch a copyright strike coming in, they just turn your stream off before you actually get in trouble.
Jeez.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary. That's super scary.
Yeah, it's just the entire music, like the DMCA laws have been in contention for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy with them besides the people making money, but they lobby against it. So it's it's a road, but hopefully we get there someday.
Super frustrating.
What about like games though that you like? Ben's done Fortnite events that they had music in, and they, in the middle of doing the event, we all got messages saying they need to mute ASAP because all this music is coming up, and so then they just had to sit there and watch this huge event
awkward
in front of thousands of people in silence.
I know Square Enix has been pretty strict on making sure people don't just listen to their game music. And even with like Kingdom Hearts, my VODs, I always have somewhere muted because Simple and Clean or Sanctuary, those songs will pop up because it's a part of their intro and their outros and different scenes. And it sucks. Not anything I can do, but it is frustrating whenever there's commentary over it that I can no longer snag.
Yeah.
Because I'm just...
So I feel like...
So games are hunkering down now.
Yeah, not just the music industry needs to get up to speed, and not just the platforms that need to get up to speed. It's also the game developers. Like,
they're starting it now. They didn't used to mute it.
Right.
That's the issue.
And they need to, I feel like all game developers need to either have copyright for live performance included in there when they get their music, or they need to, I don't know, wasn't there a few games that had like streamer mode that turned off the music and they just had like generic
Dream Daddy has that.
Dream Daddy had that. I think GTA has it, and I think some of the sports games have it now, where it's like they won't play the copyright music.
But it just changes the whole experience, right?
And
how is that fair? Like, these streamers are advertising your game for you, but they're not allowed to have the experience.
It all comes back to the music industry.
Oh yeah, like the Fortnite events though. Like, look how many viewers like these streamers get when the events hit. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands. Like, are they like not? They don't care. Like, it's like if we stop streaming those games, they won't. It's like
my semi-hot take on that is Twitch needs to be paying for the rights to live stream those songs for those events
100%,
specifically.
100%.
because like how much money is Twitch making every time Fortnite does their huge event just off of ad revenue?
Right.
It's like it's getting like hundreds of thousands of viewers that were not on the platform before this event started and are going to leave as soon as the event's over because they're just checking it out before they go play their games again.
Yeah.
It's like you need to be paying for that so your top dog streamers can actually stream the event for all these people who you're getting ad revenue from.
You're making too much sense. You need to stop that.
Yeah, Seth, what do you mean? D2 and I know you play games and do music and stuff. Seth, do you also play games or are you strictly music?
Yeah, a couple of days a week, I'll play a nice relaxing game of getting over it, or something, that gets me really chill and
Very
relaxed and
relaxed.
vibing. Like a nice little break from the physical work, just something, we're jump keying. But no, we play a lot of marbles on stream. It's a good community game. And like at first I would not play games because I was super scared. Like people would not watch me. It's like when you're first starting, you're focusing on something specifics, and then you suddenly change. People are like, I ain't gonna watch you, and that was just like a mindset I had to change over the years of like, I'm gonna do what I feel like's best. You know what I mean? So eventually people realize, oh, well, you're actually a pretty decent person. I want to hang out here no matter what you're doing. You can just, paint the walls or whatever. But so I play games a couple of days a week just to give my body a rest because it's physically demanding. It really is. So
yeah. How long can you actually go just playing drums?
I mean, I average, I don't play like a whole bunch of songs unless I'm really in the zone, but my chat will say, you only play 3 songs every 4 hours. No, but I do stream about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and I play probably 30, 40 songs. So,
jeez.
And there's been some times where I've like played 4 or 5 Linkin Park albums back to back, like done a 6-hour stream, just went all in. I regretted it the next day, but it just depends really on how I'm feeling, but it is I always have neck aches. I'm always just like so exhausted, but it's fun.
Ooh,
I obviously really enjoy it, or I wouldn't have branded myself into an instrument. So
true.
Like I only do it, I mean, drums 4 days a week, so and I split, like I take 2 days drums and 1 day in the middle, or I'll take a break, or no, I won't stream, and then so I do get a day of rest.
Seth, I have a question for you about Ezra.
Yeah. Okay.
Your cutie little boy.
Yes, he's adorable.
You're talking about a tabletop the D-Tune plays.
Oh, I was wondering why did my ears perk up to that?
I was like, Ezra? Oh, you want to talk about Ezra?
Does he have his first drum set yet?
No, not yet.
Come on.
No. I mean, he's almost 4 months old, so
he can hold stuff now, right?
I mean, he's starting to grab things like his feet. So, but he loves music. Like if he's fussy, we'll put on some like live show, and he'll fall asleep. I mean, he loves drums. 100%. He loves it. So he's definitely going to be a drummer, I think. Sorry, Mom, but he's going to be a loud drummer. So, maybe here in a few more months, I'll get him his first pair of drumsticks and some pots and pans. I'm not going to give him any spoons though, because I've learned my lesson.
I still have my first 2 pairs of drumsticks.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they have hold on.
Oh,
yeah. Like she's
wow.
got
She's
them.
Like, they're
Adventure
mounted
time.
like on the wall with lighting. Spray
I have
painted
this
in
little
gold.
wooden piano, and then my brother stepped on it one day on accident.
Oh no!
Oh, that's sad.
That was my first.
How many pairs do you have? Those are some big
3.
boys.
Wait, let me see.
This is my marching band drumsticks.
I was gonna say those are huge.
The duct tape.
Yeah, with the
Yep.
tape on them,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can see like where I beat them
Yep.
up quite a bit. And then
Wow.
these are my Mike Portnoy.
Oh,
Of
nice.
course.
Can you give us a roll?
Legend.
It'd be so loud for one. And then we were talking about our favorite bands, and Ben and I had the chance to be front row and listen to Kiss.
No way.
Okay.
Dang.
That's
So
pretty sick.
I stood there, and they only
Right.
played one song. It was for the Gamers' Choice Awards, and they were in and out. We saw them out of makeup for like a few minutes while they were getting set up earlier in the day, and I they pulled all these random people from the back to fill in the front, so I couldn't be in the very front, even though I wanted to be. I was in the front row sitting, but there's the space in a theater between where you are and the stage, so they filled that up full of fans and stuff like that. And there's just these girls that they're just whatever. They have no clue who they're listening to and who they're watching and stuff like that.
Is this a new band? Like, when did they first start? Is this new?
Never
These
heard
guys
of
are
them.
great.
Do they have Ozzy Osbourne on stage with them?
They at the very end, drummer went and he broke his drumsticks, chucked them out and stuff like that to people. They broke up a guitar and chucked the guitars out. Gene Simmons just went ham on everything.
Yes.
And
Of course.
As one does.
and then they left, and that was it. And it was like a magical 3 minutes. They're cleaning up, and Ben calls over one of the stagehands and was just like, "Hey." And I'm talking to somebody else, and he's like, "Hey, my wife is a huge fan. She's been listening to Kiss since she was a baby.
Aw.
How much for a pair of drumsticks?" And the guy's like, I can't sell them. And he's like, "Name your price." And he's like, "All right, $50. Ben goes back and picks up his wallet. He only had $100 bill in there. And he walks back over and he's just like, "Keep the change." And he gave him $100.
Oh my
And then he
gosh.
gave me my drumsticks.
That's
Oh.
amazing.
And it's
That's
the
really
greatest
lucky.
gift that he's ever given me in the whole entire world.
Oh,
Sorry, Charlie.
amazing.
That's awesome. Oh, sorry, Charlie. When you go back and watch this later on,
But this is
you
Kiss, Charlie, okay? This
It
is
was
Kiss,
Kiss.
okay?
You have to
You'll understand someday.
Kiss drums all. My dad had a black velvet painting of Kiss in our basement.
Velvet?
Like
What?
shrine material in an
Oh,
ornate
no.
frame that was a fuzzy painting of them all, sticking their tongues out and everything. And that's what I this is my childhood summed up in
Yeah.
2 sticks.
That's
So
amazing.
cute.
That's really cool.
So I thought
That's
you would like
amazing.
my
Sorry,
very first
Charlie.
pair though.
That's neat.
Thanks for showing us your sticks.
Show and tell.
Yeah.
Appreciate you showing us your
No, I just need a drum set to go with them.
These are
I've
my
been trying to
sticks.
convince you for how many years now to
I know.
get one.
I even warned Sam ahead of time that if this conversation came up, you were gonna sit here and yell at me and tell
I
me that I
know.
should at least get an electric drums kit, and
I know.
I would say yes, I don't have
You
the
should.
room, and then you would say it's not very big, so you can totally find room for it.
And it folds down.
We've
I don't
had
even
this
have to say a
conversation
word,
like
you're
50
Yep.
times.
Yeah.
Well, the
Well,
thing
we've only
is,
known each
Sam
other for a
does
couple
have the
years now.
room. She's got the
True.
room. She's just a minimalist.
Oh, no, when I
Sits
have
somewhere, it's too
room.
much.
That when
She's
I feel like
lazy.
I have room, there will
Plants
be
go there. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Move your plants.
Shut up. My plants are alive. Leave them alone.
They'll love the tapping of the electric drums. You know.
Oh, I'm sure. Maybe I
probably
have one
dance.
over here that looks like cymbals. Maybe I could just.
Don't
Oh,
hit
it's
the
green. I can't
plant.
even
What is
show you.
that?
So-
What
Oh my gosh.
flap, flap.
All right.
Oh, one
Now they're suddenly
day.
just all symbols.
Yeah,
That's
you have to
hysterical.
do it. You have to. Maybe when Charlie gets a little. Listen, Charlie can play on them. Here, see? Maybe he
True.
wants to learn to play drums. You gotta
True.
have
What is it? Right now, that kid just wants to build a rocket, so
Well,
that's what he's getting for his
He
birthday.
can put a drum set on his rocket.
True.
there you
I
go.
wonder if there's ever
Space
been
drummer.
any drummers in space.
Oh, well, we're about to have
Or
one.
like what instruments?
Wait,
did
what?
We
they
need to
play?
No,
make
not me.
yeah.
Don't
Once
me.
commercial, no, once commercial
What's
flight,
that?
once commercial space flight, then we need to have a band that will go up and play a concert in space,
Play
like
some jazz.
Xenon.
True.
Oh,
Zoom, zoom,
Can I be
zoom.
Protozoa?
Make my heart go boom, boom.
Yes.
Supernova girl.
Oh, now we're definitely all
I don't
showing our
know.
age.
Yes,
I tell
we
you
are.
what.
We are old.
We are very much
Back in my
pinpointing
day.
our age here.
Stop.
Disney Channel original movies.
Are the greatest movies ever made.
That's what your drumstick is
True.
for.
You're
so you
not
can.
wrong.
You are now watching Disney Channel. You're
Johnny
like,
Bum,
Tsunami was one of my
bum.
favorite movies. Okay, we can't talk about this. We'll talk about it for the next 2 hours.
Under Wraps was my favorite. The mummy
Smart
one.
House was mine.
Ooh, Smart House was so
Smart
good.
House was so good.
Under Wraps was so good.
It was
Under Wraps
so
was
good.
Literally
It was
one of my favorites.
all the feels though.
I
Smart
liked
House.
Drink.
Yeah.
a lot.
Brink. Oh yeah, Team Pup
yeah.
and Studs.
Dude.
That was a good one. All right.
So last question.
Yes.
If there's somebody that wants to start up doing music on Twitch, what is some advice you could give them?
Run away.
Run away. You heard it here, folks. Give up on
let's
your
see.
dreams.
Don't do it.
Music on Twitch.
I don't have an answer. Unless you're like an artist that can perform your own covers, like detune and play 15 instruments, like, you know, Autopilot, is that his name? He does the same thing. He just does covers and makes his own loops.
Yeah.
You can do that.
That's pretty cool.
And be safe.
Yeah, it depends on like the route you want to go. Doing covers is going to be tricky right now, especially like play-alongs. But the music community on Twitch is very supportive and is very vast. There's so many people who do so many things. Like there's live looping people. There's people who write songs from scratch, like beginning to end with their DAW up and going like that. I would say the biggest thing to do is like be mindful of DMCA because you don't want to like shoot yourself in the foot before you start. You don't want to come out the gate with all of your VODs getting muted and like it's so like demoralizing when it's like you're trying your best but you can't even grab even like highlights or clips of your performances and what you're doing. I would the hardest thing would be like just don't play copyrighted music, and if you are going to and want to play like a remix or a cover, there's a lot of remixes and stuff out there that are safe for stream, because they paid their dues to make sure everything's in the right place. So like doing your research on that will probably be the first best step, and then kind of like hope for the best after that.
Yeah,
I definitely think that going in, remembering that you're not above the law.
Yeah.
So
right.
like go in knowing that, something might happen, and don't be upset and throw a temper tantrum when it does, because you knew going into it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That something could happen. That's kind of thing that what's kind of frustrates me with a few streamers that I've seen that aren't even in the music category, but they get DMCA and they're just like, come on. I'm like, we all know this. It's been a thing for years. We all know this. Why do you feel like you are better than anybody else, that you shouldn't get picked on or whatever? But
I've been streaming since 2018, and I think when I started streaming is when like the first one of the first big waves like hit really hard, and everyone's like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you just can't do this. So like this has been a thing since I've been on the platform, like years.
When did you start?
April 2018. 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the like apparently it happened before, but like this was one of the biggest strikes that people were getting, like the blast emails, the like big creators getting warned and things like that like freaked everybody out. And it's like, you all know this, like you should know this anyway. You're in entertainment,
but it's a gray area.
anyways, we're gonna go through the list of Disney Channel original movies.
You're getting me
A
heated.
happy
I need a cup
topic.
of coffee.
There's 113 titles. We're starting in 1997. I'm just gonna read them, and you guys just say like yeah or cool, or we're not gonna spend a lot of time. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
The first one is Under Wraps.
I love that movie so much.
100%.
I've never seen that
or
one.
cool only. What are you doing?
Please go watch it, please.
It's
so
the
wholesome.
Mummy one. It's so good.
It's so
You
wholesome,
Lucky
too.
Dog.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one.
Brink. That's the first one that I
Brink.
watched.
Yep.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
Yep.
Halloween Town.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Xenon.
Oh,
yeah. One of the
Classic.
best. Can of Worms.
King of Worms.
Don't know that one.
That sounds
The 13th
scary.
Year. I really liked that one too.
I love
Wait,
that one.
is that?
He turns into a mermaid.
Yes, the mermaid one.
Okay. Thank you.
I like that one.
Smart House.
Loved it.
Johnny
Fantastic.
Tsunami.
Yes.
A
Have to love
classic.
that one.
Wait, was The Color of Friendship, was that Disney?
Yes.
It was Disney, not Disney
Yes.
Channel though. Maybe.
Oh.
Or is it maybe? It might be later. Oh no, it is. It is Disney Channel. Okay.
Oh, is
That's
it?
coming
That's
up.
a good movie.
Genius.
I love
Genius.
Genius.
I remember that one.
I think I know that one.
Don't Look Under the Bed.
Oh, good
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Horse Sense. I remember Horse Sense.
Horse sense.
I don't know
Is
if I
it
know
like
that
about
one.
horse girls?
No. An LA
hope
kid
so.
has to go to the ranch and he learns, ranch
Oh
life
wait,
and
that's what's his name? He was in everything back then.
Joey Lawrence and
Yeah.
Andrew Lawrence, the Lawrence brothers in it.
The Lawrence brothers. That's right. Oh my god, I love
Up and
that one.
Away,
Loved Up and Away.
Color of Friendship,
Yeah.
Yep.
Alley
Beautiful.
Cat Strike. Loved that one.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
Okay,
I
one
don't
of
think
the
I know
other
that
great
one.
ones, Rip Girls,
Rip Girls
Yep,
is
the
I
amazing.
think I remember that one.
Miracle in Lane 2.
Oh.
I don't know that one.
My
Was
other
that the-
favorite one, Stepsister from Planet Weird.
Oh, that
I
was
Yeah.
remember
good.
that one.
my
Ready to
God.
Run.
I don't know that
I
one.
think I've seen that one.
14-year-old girl who works at a racetrack trains a talking racehorse with issues, transforming
Yes.
him into a winner.
Yes.
Whoa.
That sounds
Spoiler.
Ah!
Spoiler.
Quince.
I do
Oh,
remember that
loved
one.
Quince.
Yep, I remember that one. The
I
other
learned about
me.
that girl.
That's with
The
Andrew.
other
There's
me.
a lot of Lawrence brothers in here.
Yeah, they were all over these. Oh yeah, I remember the other me.
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Love that
Beautiful.
one.
Definitely
Don't
remember
invite
that
them
one.
in.
Phantom of the Megaplex.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I loved
I
that
forgot
one.
So
about
this is
that
we're
one.
in 2000. 2000 is when they really boomed a lot of
Yeah.
their
They hit
Yeah.
their
movies out here.
stride.
The Ultimate Christmas Present.
I don't think I know that one.
I don't ever either. Xenon the Zequel. Not as good,
Z-
but
Zequel. It's
I mean, it was still good,
still pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
but it
just-
wasn't Xenon.
oh,
True.
okay. Here's another wave of ones that I loved. Motocross. We already
Yep.
talked
Oh,
about that one.
yes.
The Luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Love
That was
one.
That was a
good.
Ryan
fantastic
Merriman.
movie.
Like he was like Andy Lawrence. He was all over
Yep.
He was
Disney
all of
Channel.
them.
Yeah. Yep.
Hounded.
I loved Hounded.
Hounded.
Oh, Jet Jackson.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Remember
Jet
Jet
Jackson was so
Jackson?
good.
Mhm.
The Jenny Project.
The Jenny Project.
I don't remember that one.
What's that?
Based on the book Jenny by Douglas Preston, the Jenny Project tells the story of a chimpanzee
Oh.
named Jenny who has the ability to use and understand sign language.
No,
Yes,
that's
I do
cool,
remember
though.
this one.
remember
I
that
watched this
one.
with my mom. Oh.
Okay, so this is
Aw.
starting to go back out of when I stopped watching these. Jumping Ship. This is only 2001. I only watched them for like 4 years. What? The Poof Point.
The Poof Point.
Nope.
That
A
sounds
bad
like
experiment makes
farting.
two inventors younger and younger.
I'm talking about too.
With Taj Mowry. Oh, he was all over Disney as well.
Ah,
the
yeah.
Maoris were all over.
Yep. Halloween Town 2
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I
was
liked
the
it.
night.
Halloween Town High was when it
Was
got
the
bad.
night?
That one is another Christmas one.
Oh,
It sounds
see,
familiar.
A mischievous 14-year-old boy and his irresponsible uncle almost ruin Christmas when they decide to take Santa's new high-tech sleigh for a joyride.
They GTA'd Santa's sleigh? What?
Okay, another good one. I guess there was a lull in 2001 for me. 2002, Double Teamed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
Cadet Kelly.
Okay,
Classic.
hang on. So
Cadet
we've talked
Kelly.
about Cadet Kelly on my stream a few times.
Okay.
So if y'all know military, you're supposed to have it at your eyebrow. Ignore my finger.
Right.
It has been
Yes.
broke. Anyway, it's supposed to be at the tail of your eyebrow. She's like
Yes.
right here.
Well, in the
Oh.
picture, she has it
And I'm
right
just
here
like-
on her
Or
forehead.
she's like up here. Yeah,
Oh,
she kept changing
no.
it. It's like, no, girl. And like your
It's-
arm's supposed to be straight.
Yeah.
But so we love it.
Cadet
True
Kelly's
a love story.
Confessions.
Oh, that one made me
That one
cry
was such
so
a good one.
much. Oh, that's so good.
Get a Clue. This is where Lindsay Lohan
Get a
comes in.
Clue.
Get a
too.
clue.
Lindsay
That's her
Lohan,
Lohan.
Simon
I
and
had a
Milo
huge crush on
protozoa
her.
thing.
I had a
Or-
huge crush on Lindsay when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Gotta Kick It Up.
Kick it up. I
Yes,
do
I've
remember
heard
that
of
one.
it. I
Dance
don't
team
remember
one?
it. Yeah.
A Ring of Endless Light
Ugh.
Mm.
with
Sounds
Misha
scary.
Barton and Ryan Merriman and
Wait,
Jared
really?
Padalecki.
What? I want to go
I
back
don't
and
think
watch
I've ever
that.
seen that one. The Scream Team.
Yeah.
I've heard
Okay.
of that one.
You Wish.
There's a lot of movies I haven't
A teen
seen.
accidentally wishes his younger brother away. Has Spencer
Oh, wait.
Breslin.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
did see
okay.
that one.
I remember this one. Right on Track. With
Right on Track.
Beverly Mitchell and Brie Larson are their
Yeah.
sisters
Brie
that are battling
Larson?
to be. Yeah, she's a baby in that one.
Oh yeah, this was the drag racing one, right?
Yes, yep, where they're battling to be the better
Yeah.
racer.
That's
Wow,
Brie
she was
Larson.
Yeah,
Oh
she's
my
such a baby
God.
in that. I would never.
We're so old.
Oh my
Why
gosh,
are we
she was
so
so
old?
little.
This is 2003. I'm a junior in high school.
Almost 20 years ago.
Okay,
I
so
remember that
what's funny
one.
is we're in the age where everyone's like, how long ago was the 70s? And we all say roughly 30 years ago, but it's not. It's 50
I don't
years
want to
ago.
think. I don't want to think about it.
The Even Stevens movie.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Classic.
And go to
Eddie's
the
$1
island.
Million Cook-Off.
That was good too.
The Cheetah Girls.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
Cheetah
we are
sisters.
We stand together.
It's
Full
still
Court
slapper.
Miracle.
I do remember that one.
Pixel Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Going to the Mat.
Yeah.
What?
The wrestling one.
Oh,
Xenon
yeah.
Z3.
I think I like that one
I
better than the
saw
second
that
one.
one, but I don't think I ever rewatched it.
Stuck in the Suburbs.
I don't know that one.
This has Brenda's song in it.
Oh, I love Brenda's song.
Teenager Brittany is bored with her quiet suburban life. She finds excitement when her phone is switched to the phone of Jordan Cahill. Jordan, only the top teen pop singer, has come to her town to make a music
They're always
video.
pop singers.
Wow.
Oh, everyone's hairdos. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the fashion. Tiger Cruise. In the wake of the
Yes.
World Trade Center attacks, a naval carrier with civilians on
Oh.
board is ordered in combat mode.
Holy
Never
smokes.
seen
That's
that one.
right.
That
What a
sounds
weird
intense.
thing to make a movie of.
Yeah.
Disney.
Halloween
Yeah.
Town High.
Ugh.
Now You See It.
Yes.
I remember it with Ali. Is
Uh-huh.
it
I can't
Michalka?
pronounce her last name.
Yeah.
Mashaka or
Buffalo
something like that.
Dreams.
Buffalo Dreams.
Are we dreaming about, like,
Schoolboy
wobbling?
Josh Townsend has to move again with his father. It's always moving. An
Yeah.
astrophysics researcher to a New Mexico small town to escape the copy boy job dad arranged. Josh volunteers. Oh, it's a big. Okay.
Move on.
To do
That
something.
sounds too serious.
We don't remember it. Let's see. Kim Possible, So the Drama.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Possible.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Kim
Life
Possible.
is Rough
Life is rough.
with
Is that a
Kyle
dog one?
Massey, who now we have
Yeah.
come to find out is not a good person.
Yeah. Tends to happen.
The Proud Family movie.
Yeah.
Ooh, loved the
Twitches.
Proud Family.
I
Twitches
love
was good
Twitches. High School Musical.
too. Ooh, here we go.
Cowbells.
Cowbells.
That's with AJ and Allie.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, the
They're
sisters.
city teens that have to go to
Working on
the
a
farm. Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
Loved that. That's
Oh,
a Brenda
yeah.
song.
I do remember that one.
Oh.
Read It and Weep.
Read it and wait.
That's
I remember
with
that one.
a shy and retiring high school student develops a peculiar
Mhm.
alter ego that changes her life forever.
Oh,
The Cheetah Girls
yeah.
2.
There are so many.
Yeah.
Cheetah
Oh,
Girls
we're
2 is
only
so
in
good.
the 60s.
What the heck?
We're in 2004, 2006 area.
We're gonna hit a
Return to Halloween
hard
Town.
drop off. Was that
Yeah,
any
I'm-
good?
Return to Halloween Town wasn't bad. Halloween
I don't
Town
think-
High sucked.
I don't think
But
I
ever
like
watched
didn't
those
watch
two.
it because Halloween.
yeah,
High
they
was
changed a lot of the
terrible.
cast for
Yeah,
Return.
that- I just-
Oh.
I don't like
yeah.
that.
1 and 2 are the best ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jump In.
Yep.
Johnny
Jump
Capahala
In, yep.
back on board. So Johnny Tsunami when he grew up.
Oh yeah.
High School Musical 2.
Okay.
Of course.
This is where I stopped off. I haven't seen probably none of these after this. After High School Musical was the last one I watched, and that was in Cowbells would have been the last one I watched in 2006. Twitches 2.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
would
This
be
is a
on.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minutemen.
Yeah.
I
Camp
watched that
Rock.
one with my younger brother. Oh, these are okay. It's the crossover because I watch these with my younger brother now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cheetah Girls One World.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dad Napped
Yeah.
Dad napped.
I've heard of it. I don't remember if I
with
seen
Emily
it.
Osment.
Oh.
I mean, I know what Emily Osment
Hatching
is.
Pete.
Is he a chicken?
Hatching Pete.
When
Or are we
Cletus
like-
can't play the school mascot, Pete has to secretly do the job.
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like it's a horror movie. Like, watching him.
He
There's
can't
a
all of
Princess
them.
Protection
Hatchet Pete.
Program.
Yes, I loved that. That's with Demi Lovato, right?
Yep. And Selena
Oh.
Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've never heard of most of these. Den Brother.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Okay, we're finally getting to the point where we might not know many.
When
of
did
these
they
others.
stop making
I
originals?
think like the Wizards one was probably roughly about when I fell off.
Yeah, Camp Rock 2,
I mean, yeah, no Camp Rock.
Avalon High. These are
Mm-mm.
2010, 2011. Nope.
That was only 10 years ago, y'all. Hey, you know.
Hey, we're getting
I'm
close.
just scrolling to see if there's any that. Oh, Teen Beach Movie. I only know that because Jordan's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
is he?
Yeah. He's Sea-Cat. Just the only other one that I know of is Descendants.
I
That
just think
was
of the movie The
2015.
Descent, and that's a different type of movie.
That's not a Disney Channel movie.
That's not
That's for
Disney
sure.
Channel.
Other than that,
know.
these are all way too. There's a live action Kim Possible.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
Is it bad?
I don't know.
You know how most live
It's a
actions
3.7
go.
rating. It's bad.
Yeah,
So
Avatar live action.
Speaking of 3.7
It's so bad,
rating,
it'll probably be good though. You know, it's like
It's one
the
of those
rating
movies
scale.
that you just know.
Yeah,
Is
the
it
rating
like The
scale once you
Room?
get the low. Yeah,
So bad it's good.
yeah.
I'm worried about the new Space Jam. It has a really bad rating.
Oh, me too.
And
I was
That
worried
is
about the
sad.
new Suicide Squad, but apparently it's very good.
It
Really?
has to be good.
I've not watched the first one because I got such bad reviews. So I'm like,
Oh, the first one was terrible.
I probably still need to watch it though, right?
No.
No, so basically, the new Suicide Squad is just a reboot. They admitted it was so
Really?
bad that they just like got Taika to direct it and like just make it a good movie.
Make it a
Because
good one.
Taika can do very little wrong in my eyes.
Yes,
Right,
agree.
right,
Jojo
right.
Rabbit is still one of my favorite movies
Oh,
of
yes.
all time.
It's
It's
such
so
a good
good.
movie. So sad.
so
We saw that
good.
together, Sam, right?
Yeah, when
In
you came
theater?
here.
Yeah, and a ball.
Real quick
Yeah.
before we end and do our little sign off, have you guys seen Black Widow?
Not
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Not yet here.
It's great.
Seth, can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
It was amazing in every way.
We can't talk.
Ah!
You didn't like it?
No, it was a trash movie.
Whoa!
Really?
It was such a trash movie.
Uh-oh.
Why do you think it was
conflict.
trash? Like the plot?
Black Widow was amazing. No, there was just so many. I don't know. There's just I can't even begin.
It got really good reviews.
I don't understand why. Everybody in our group that watched it, we all sat there and were like, "Why did we just waste 2 hours watching this?"
So-
You thought it was that
Dang.
bad?
Yes.
I'll
I mean,
watch it and report back in and try to be the
Yeah.
the middleman for that.
I mean, maybe I
Okay.
could watch it again and get.
No. Okay. And there is something. I don't think that this is a. I can't say anything. But there's something in there that I'm very passionate about that is in the wrong time period. And if Marvel does not,
It was a little
take it-
confusing about when, like when everything was going down because like it was
1995.
so
Did they stumble on like their own timeline type of thing?
They put something in there that could not have been made at that time.
oh wow.
Ooh,
Because
okay.
that-
Dang.
The character that is based off of was not created yet. That version.
Oh,
And for
Really?
anybody
I didn't know that.
that knows this world, and it's not a spoiler, but I just feel like if
Yeah.
I say anything, people are gonna get mad.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler to the storyline at all. But just keep an eye out for things that
Huh.
stand out.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it
and you know
again, I
what-
guess.
April, you know what I'm talking about?
I will probably watch it like before my move on Tuesday, so I will report back in and be like,
Let me
"You were
know.
Right.
So, but there was
Huh.
one thing that there's no physical possible way unless Doctor Strange came and brought it in, or you
And
know
some
somebody did a
weird-
little time traveling thing. And me being a super big fan of this other whole IP,
Thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. See, maybe
Okay.
if I
Okay.
had that
Okay.
knowledge, then I would have thought differently. But I'm really easily amused. So it's like, oh, they're doing front flips and they're skydiving without falling. Or, you know, like I'm like,
there's
oh,
so
okay,
many
that's
things
cool.
that
You're
the thing
doing
is that
front
she's not
flips.
technically a superhero. She's just a trained assassin, right?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
just a
and there
normal
was-
She
person.
would be dead 5 times in that movie.
That's very true because there's a lot of stuff where like she falls and she's just like, yeah, you know, I'm like just doing
Yeah.
flips and stuff. I'm like, okay, oh,
So okay,
guess
so
you're
the
right.
thing that I'm talking, superhero movies. I'm just like I'm gonna think now. So the thing that I'm referring to, it either is referring to the multiverse, or it's
Okay.
referring to a character in another Marvel show movie
Wow.
thing,
Okay.
or
Okay.
somebody on the set team just royally screwed up and is going to drive me crazy if they don't ever follow through with it.
That would be wild if Marvel misstepped that bad.
This badly. We're talking like
can't-
12 years off.
Holy
I-
cow.
I-
You're gonna
now
have
I
to tell
need
me
to
what
watch
it
it
is off
tonight.
stream.
Yeah,
I'll
I need to
message
watch
you,
it tonight
Seth,
and
tell
see.
you what it is.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to go back and
Alright.
watch the movie and then go in with that mindset.
So-
and then it's trash.
Okay, I need to know what you thought of Loki then.
I
Did you
thought
like-
Loki was one of the best
Yeah.
all around, barring the ending, because I'm not spoiling the ending. So we're
Yeah.
not taking the last episode into account.
Yeah.
It was great. But
Okay.
I feel like Loki was one of the best overall thought out shows in movies that they've done.
Yeah.
I agreed. And
It lined
was-
up with Thor Ragnarok and the first Iron Man for me.
Okay, that's huge. I absolutely loved it, and I got stoked because it made me realize again that Owen Wilson is a great actor.
Yeah.
Like Mobius is so good in it. I'm like, oh,
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Did you guys like WandaVision too? Did you guys
I
watch
loved
that?
The first
WandaVision.
half.
Yeah. You didn't like it after that, or just?
The last half, there's some things that I wish that would have been done differently. But
I feel like Sam
That's
has like
fair.
a 5-head mentality, and she like knows all about the Marvel universe. I'm just
I
like,
love
you know?
superheroes.
You know?
Okay, but I am
She
nothing
did
in
the thing
comparison
with
to
her
my
hands.
husband and my
Yeah.
brother-in-law. My brother-in-law
yeah.
is like, he pulls out all of the things from comic books of like, well, in this issue, and I'm like, stop it. So, all right, we are done with time. If you guys can quickly let us know where we can find you, Seth, go ahead first.
I'm Seth Drums is on Twitch, and then I'm Seth Drums on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok.
D2, what about you?
I am DTune on Twitch and YouTube, and xdetune everywhere else because my name was taken on almost every single platform.
Frustrating.
But
Thank y'all so much.
it's yeah. Thank you for having us. This was
Yes,
so much
thank you
fun.
so much, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Ooh.
Bye.
Ooh.